that the peak performers, let's use that term instead. The way that the best people create and manifest things is using these 3 kind of dark rules for success. And I don't know why they're called dark. They're not really a secret. They're not really hidden, but for some reason they just remain kind of in the shadows. Not many people know about them. Okay, so what are these 3 rules? So the first one is vibration. And I've spoken about this in countless videos, right? But if you want to create something or manifest something, or even just become someone, you need to first change your vibration. When you change your vibration, you will kind of resonate and attract things that are the same vibration. And I know this sounds kind of like, oh, it's kind of out there, it's kind of woo-woo. But you can really see, if you just forget the terms and the buzzwords for a second, you can kind of see this in your own life as an example. Most people can, right? So you will always know that there's 1 or 2 people who they just seem to be really lucky. They seem to get opportunities coming towards them. They always seem to fall in dog poo and come up smelling like roses. You may have heard this expression, right? They just somehow, in any situation, they come out on top. They come out in a better position. And then you also might know some people who are just full of calamity. They're just constantly attracting bad luck, bad situations. There's not really much of a difference between these 2 people. And you can often find really good, genuine people who seem to just be really unlucky. And they never seem to catch a break, right? You might even hear them say these words, I can never catch a break. The only difference between them is their vibration and what they're focusing on. The person who is succeeding and being lucky, as you might say, all they're doing is they're just focusing on what they want instead of what they don't want. We all have struggles, okay? We all have struggles. We're all going through something, whether it's like a health thing, a mental thing, finances, stress, danger. Like we're all going through some kind of struggle, at some point. The difference is, do you focus on that and focus on what you don't want? Or do you focus on the reality that you do want, even if you can't see it right now? This is literally what manifestation comes down to. It's not this woo-woo thing. It's just, are you going to focus on what you want or what you don't want? Think of the brain like a computer. If you focus on what you do want, the brain is going to kind of use its powers to find different paths and different ways of getting to what you want. And in the same way, if you focus on what you don't want, the brain will find different paths towards getting more of what you don't want. The brain is neutral. And this is what I really didn't understand until much later in my life. Your brain doesn't really care which way your life goes. It's a tool. It really is just a tool that you can use to either focus on what you want or what you don't want. So vibration is just that same thing. It's just a different way of explaining that same thing. So when I say you need to change your vibration, another way of saying that might be to just focus on what you want. And by doing that, by focusing on what you want, you will naturally change the way you talk, the way you act, the way you think, and what you believe. And so through changing those 4 things, you are raising or changing your vibration. And I know the word vibration is kind of charged, like some people think that it's like this woo-woo concept, doesn't make sense. But really just think of it as like an umbrella term that describes you as a person and the energy, like the kind of signals that you're giving off. It could be things you say, the way you walk around. It could literally be any of these subtle little things that are really just subconscious. We're not usually aware of them. But when you change all of them, you attract different things. People notice it, different situations come to you. And it really literally just works like that. I could go into more detail, would love to, but I don't want to make this video too long. So the next one, the third one, there's one more after this, is that you protect your energy. What do I mean by that? So the peak performers, the people at the very top of their game, who have, you could say, achieved their dream life, not just materially, but in terms of happiness, peace, purpose, fulfillment, and joy.